line. Hey, the radio, big crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet. Not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Crank it up.
Introducing RS30 Ultra. The first sim racing wheel and pedals designed by a professional championship racer. Officially licensed by Microsoft, RS30 brings next-level realism to your racing sims. Sense the road, know your vehicle, and get faster lap times as you tear through the track. Dual helical gear motors give you more torque than traditional gear drive motors, with the same smoothness and quietness of a belt drive motor. Experience a stunning 6 Nm of torque, the most torque per dollar than any other wheel, and fast, accurate feedback with 0 dead zones. Feel every nuance and know exactly when you're understeering, oversteering, or losing traction. Spring-loaded pedals give you responsive throttle modulation and brake progression for absolute control and precision, just like the real thing. 2 additional paddles can be used as clutch and e-brake, or as pedal-free throttle and brakes. A rotation switch lets you easily toggle between simulation racing and arcade-style racing. Even the diameter of the wheel is calibrated to exact race car specifications. And an easy share button lets you save and share your best laps with a simple push. From the metal build to the suede wheel and steel pedals, every detail is dialed to give the entire system a high-end feel. Get better, go faster, win more, and enjoy every second of it. With RS30 Ultra, you'll race like a pro and feel like one too. RS30 Ultra by GTR Simulator. Go fast.
With the ButtKicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. ButtKicker. The future is feeling.
Looking for a new PC or an upgrade to your current one? Look no further than Ford Entertainment Group, your home for the best quality and value in new, pre-built, and custom PCs at the lowest price guaranteed. We have affordable PC solutions for any budget, with custom builds starting at $595. Even the pros turn to Ford Entertainment Group to get them up and running. With valued customers from all over the world, it's easy to see why Ford Entertainment Group is the most trusted brand in custom PCs.
I wanted to save my awesome subscribers the most money when they start their sim racing journey. I searched high and low for the best deals. And I'm so proud that Jeffrey and I have partnered up so I can spread the good news about where to get the lowest price on a high quality computer.
Feel confident when buying from us with the FEG Satisfaction Guarantee. Get yourself on track today by visiting us online at fegpc.net.
Battle Racing League this season has been brought to you in part by our good friends over at GTR Racing Simulator, DeeDub, Button Boxes, Gearhead, Coffee, Ooze, Motorsports, ButtKicker Company, Matt Mills Racing Team, Ford Entertainment Group, PC.net, Mann's Maintenance, LBT Pallet, and Berrytown Clearance, as well as our friends over at Lightning Wrapz. And a big thank you to all of them, and a big thank you to all you that tune on into the show. Hi again, everyone. I am Christian the Crusader Shriver. Welcome back to Battle Racing League. In Season 5 is about to come to a close in just a few short weeks, but we still need to crown a champion. We still need to crown a winner out of it all. And the only way to do that around these parts is to find out who is the biggest and the baddest of them all. Let's find out right here now at Avondale, Arizona. Here, Phoenix Raceway will present these Cup Series drivers in their prime and their speed and control, as they will have to try to take down the open dog leg face track. Here is your starting lineup tonight. Dennis Warrens in the number 90 will lead him off once more. On the outside of him, Matthew Hofford, the 84. Row number 2, the throttle, Chantel Bottle. And the 5 to her outside, Jeffrey Oaks, Old Oaksy in the number 20. Row 3 sees the season and defending champion, this season leader in the points, Robert Dudleyville Dudley, and his 49 machine to his outside, Brandon Pike, the number 22. Row number 4 is going to be Kevin Baker, and the 87 to his outside, that'll be Dustin Sonaker, the number 66. Row 5 sees Jason Henry. In the 3 it is outside the rattlesnake, Robert Kahn. And finally the 72 sees Jeffrey Tufts, your final starter out of this field of drivers. Under the new lights and the new skies of Phoenix Raceway, a whole new playing field and a whole new look. It don't get any more updated than this, and it's time to head it down. Presented in part by GTR Racing Simulator. Let's get down to business here at Phoenix. Stage lap will come at lap 30 here, and on the start here, they will lead him down for the first leg of the race. Get him off the start. Off the gun here in the position, Dennis Morris takes the early advantage here. Jeffrey Oaks trying to maintain distance on the outside line while fighting it out with the 5 at Chantel Bottle. Watch out for her on this track. This is a home field advantage for her. She's got many victories, including a season championship thriller on this track from other platformers. She knows how to do it around these parts. Matthew Hofford, though, no slouch either. I know all too well about that. I'll tell you more about him in a little bit. In my wars, I've gone with him on this track. But out of the gate here, everyone has continued to maintain pace, maintain grip here off the start. No driver getting too out of control or out of hand. So out of the gate here, tire saving going to be a very crucial factor, obviously, for these drivers. They're going to really be watching themselves as we progress through this event. An old rivalry is revisited here as Jeffrey Oaks goes to the bottom lane to fight it out with Matthew Hofford in the number 84. Oaksy trying to defend the bottom, and the Hofford trying to gain some ground and grip on the outside line, trying to hang in there. A lot of openings to be given, a lot of chances to strike when you can get it good. Will that be the case here as you see the fight for second and third going how? Robert Dudley. Moving the chains in. The Mercury, number 49, inch loving memory of any Dudley. moving the chains up, trying to fight it out with the best in the intentions. Kevin Baker wants his more as well. Having to deal in delts with the 21, the Rattlesnake. Robert Kahn trying to put the Motorcraft machine up ahead and back into the fight. Remember, he still has to start in the back of the pack every single race. He has to start there off the starts. From there, he can pretty much figure out what he wants to do. But the good news for him is he's kind of in that good spot where he's kind of in that sweet spot, if you will. Whereas there's not very many cars out there that have to fight around, but there is yourself to fight with and deal with, especially on a track like this. Phoenix Raceway is a slick mess of a track, and it will test even the best of drivers. You even see Brandon Pike getting a little loosey-goosey off those corners of turn 4. This is a hard track to race on, but it's a hard track to pass on. And in many regards, it's one of the toughest tracks, I think, that really brings out the best in all of us, and I love it. It's a tire-burning, tire-draining, mentally draining kind of track. It tests the best, and it makes the greatest win on this spot. Yeah, I guess that's why they like to have the season championship these days for NASCAR now, don't they? Let's go on board here real quick now and watch Dennis Warrens as he tries to fight it out here at Avondale's at Phoenix Raceway. This is what's making him so good right now. You can see him trying to find a similar line, just find one line and one line to stick with, not trying to overdrive it, not trying to underdrive it. Just stick to the run, stick to the momentum, not worry about anything else. He can deal with the struggles later. When time pressures in and everything kind of caves in on you, that's when you start to worry a little bit. Nothing to worry here though. It's pretty much been smooth sailing from the get-go here for these drivers and pretty much from the start of it all. Now, I'll get more about my history with this track here right about now, because honestly, this track, this is pretty much like my home. This is like my home away from home when it came to running on NASCAR Heat 4. I absolutely love this track. Even on iRacing, this track is literally my absolute favorite to battle out and race on with multiple series. And I'd put it up there with, of course, Knoxville Raceway and even Cedar Lake Speedway, as well as probably my favorite asphalt track out of the circuit when it comes to the bigger tracks, being Iowa Speedway. This is up there with them. It's a mile long in speed. It's got the dog leg shaped configuration. It allows for drivers to kind of go beneath that bottom lane there, make a run off there. Really makes for some wide opening turns and corners, but it also can be a very treacherous little area because it burns up tires and it burns up your car pretty quickly if you're not careful. Depending on how you like to race it, depends on how you like to handle the throttle and handle yourself out there. I've seen drivers be able to make everything work in between and work everything right out on the site. But unfortunately though, one of the toughest challenges they're going to face is risking speed versus reward. Reward being, you know, if you can do a long run and everyone else burns up just a little bit more than you can end up kind of taking that into perspective and taking full advantage of it. We've seen it before where it ends up working out perfectly for some and it does not do so well for others. With me, with this track here, I've always believed in the attitude of risk versus of doing the long run versus the short run mentality. You can build a lot of speed up on this track, but I've actually got my 2 wins ever from this track from NASCAR Heat 4, all because I literally saved out tires longer than everyone else. Everyone goes into pit road and I just stayed out, and that was how I ended up winning on this track. So if there's one thing I do know about how to win on this track, it's you've got to save those tires and you've got to understand the limits your car or truck will face. And these cars, these are not easy pieces of equipment, man. Yeah, right there as you see Jeffrey Oaks. Oh man, talk about dog legging it. He just tail whipped that thing around out of turn 4. Rear end slid out completely. He just jams the throttle, tries to get it down below the dog leg. Held on for dear life and managed to stay in there just in time. But again, that's the challenge they face here. Again, they're facing off with the added pressure of dealing with that added gun, if you will, of momentum and control. There are so many limits these cars have to face and so many issues these drivers will be dealing with on a constant basis that only the best can really hang on to it and really give themselves a run for their money. You can even see now the tires, even just after a couple laps, they're already burning up pretty bad, actually taking a little bit of a beating down there. That's not good. They've got to be careful about that for the long haul. Remember, this only stage break is going to be at lap 30, which Jeffrey Oaks, I think, is well aware of that, as well as Dennis Warren's here. They're going to be paying close attention to how their tires were burning up in those amount of laps and figure out how they're going to play the strategy in and play that role of the card and position, as everybody else kind of maintain ground and clearance and just kind of hitting their own spots and looking for their run where they can. Kevin Baker last week said to me he felt really disappointed in himself and disappointed with his overall finish. He said to me, I wish I could get this thing dialed up a little bit better and drive a little harder. I don't know why I can't get it dialed up any more than I have. I talked to them a little bit about that, and just kind of give him some suggestions, and really since then he's been pretty much kind of hanging in there doing what he can with the run off here. Corey Reed coming on board tonight saying good luck everyone. Sorry I couldn't make it. It's alright, Corey, we still love you, man. I hope you'll be joining us soon. Robert Dudley saying what's up. Good to hear from you. And Arlie Dudley saying PTM boys and girls. Good to hear from you, Arlie. Matthew Hall right now, the 84, trying to hold off that run coming from the 5 of Chantel, the Throttle Pallet as the GTR Racing Simulator. Number 5 Ford Mustang tries to gain some ground up on that go on the 84 of Matthew Hoffert. Hoffert's been a bit of a thorn right now, and a thorn as of late when it comes to that Jack Dale Motorsports number 20 of Jeffrey Oaks. I talked to him earlier today about that. He said point blank, I know he's always been a thorn in my side. He's always been kind of tough to master and handle out here. But that's what I want. I don't want him to take it easy on me. I want to make sure every win means something. In order to do that, I have to race with the best and defeat the best at their best, of course. So, yeah, I can definitely agree with what his statement is and what he made there. Because again, right now, the only one they're truly all trying to knock down is, of course, that 49 of Robert Dudley. And right now, I'll be honest with you, folks, Dudley, he's got a pretty good points lead, but that doesn't mean anything on the long haul. He's still got at least 2 more races to go after this week. So don't think for one second he can just get cozy down there and think that he's in good condition. He still has to finish it out to December 19th. They still have 3 races remaining. Next week will be Kansas, then Kentucky, and then finally Michigan. Michigan seems to be kind of a hotbed for hard racing and hard charges, so we don't know what's going to happen down there, what will come or transpire. We do know one thing. Last time we were in Michigan, Green Mountain Girls Fast and Fun Truck Series put on a clinic and maybe one of the wildest races we've seen in quite some time. So that might be a little hard to top, but there's one thing we know about Pedal to the Metal Racing League. They sure love to top even themselves around here. By the way, somebody asked me earlier, did the streams look any clearer or anything like that? Nope, not really. Honestly, guys, we just kind of left everything the same way. So we at least are appreciative that you guys are kind of noticing that. So thank you so much for tuning in and enjoying the show still, as always, and looking after us. Like I told you, you support us, we support you. We'll figure out ways to get these look better. And believe me, I still got a few things I'm working on the wires here with the producers, trying to see if maybe we can add them into the stream so that we can make it a little bit more realistic. Or a little more fun, depending on how you look at it. Look here, down the bottom. Look at that speed by the 5 she's trying to build up. You can see what she's trying to do is she's trying to pretty much diamond off that corner and get a good burst of speed to then maneuver around the 84 Matthew Hoffert. Downside to doing that, though, is you lose a lot of grip and a lot of tire wear just by doing that. It's a smart move by trying to shorten the track out, but it's also extremely, extremely risky move, because it can hurt even the best of your abilities and your car. I know that all too well. I used to do that all the time back when we were running on this track. Really, be honest with you though, folks, I haven't ran much of the new version of this Phoenix track. I've actually ran more of the legacy version, which is the 2012 style configuration with the grassy plains kind of blocking the dog leg. And I will say this, as Oaksy tries to shoehorn it down the bottom and literally take Warrants for a ride. Couldn't quite clear it there. Couldn't quite get a runoff on him. Wasn't enough as laps were starting to wind down before stage break coming to an end. But so far, man, this has been pretty solid, pretty good racing from everyone out here, and not really anything bad to say. It's just been hammered down and see what happens. Impressive stuff. Lap times right now, let's take a look at our best laps of the night so far. And our best at this moment, it appears, is going to be a 26.57 by Dennis Warrens at the moment anyway. But remember, that doesn't mean anything when it comes to long distance and long term. Some of these guys and gals could be trying to actually make them think that that's a good idea to be running that kind of hard laps. Like I said before, tire wear is a conservation for this kind of long haul. Speed is one thing, but control is another. Speaking of control here, the control for the third place spot now progresses here. Robert Dudley trying to maneuver around the 84 to Matthew Hoffer. Meanwhile, it is his 5 of Chantel, the throttle bottle, moving into third for the first time tonight. Jeffrey Oaks up 2 spots from where he began at. Dudley trying to make a move up on them all. As Paul Heyman would once say, the reigning and defending undisputed season champion is currently trying to hold his reign as the king of the top of the mountain when it comes to pedal metal racing. He's trying to hang on there and trying to knock down Matthew Hofford a few spots so he can gain even more points leading in. He knows Oaksy is close on his tail for that championship hunt. As the stage break now comes to a close, lap has initiated. We've hit the caution for stage 1 for the stage. And remember, there's only one stage, so they don't get any breathers here. They're going to have to make it work all the way to the end and make good use of it. How well will they be able to do that, though, remains to be unnoticed and unchecked. But there's one thing we know. There's one thing we know around here, though, on PTM Racing TV. Expect the unexpected. When we come back, there's more action to be had here at Phoenix Raceway down in Avondale, Arizona. Will Dennis Warrens be able to finally go the full distance and pull out the W? We'll find out when we return. Pedal to Metal Racing League Season 5 Cup Series has been presented in part by our good friends over at GTR Racing Simulator. Welcome to the future, GTR Racing Simulator. It's not that we broke the mold, we just never used one. By DeeDub Button Boxes. Quality button boxes made your way. DeeDub Button Boxes always has you covered. By the ButtKicker Company. Best in performance for real tracks of the virtual world. The ButtKicker. Feel what you've been missing. By Gearhead Coffee. Whether you're wrenching on your vehicle at home, garage, or servicing customers at your automotive repair facility or dealership, Gearhead Coffee provides a unique premium coffee that keeps your motor running. By Ooze Motorsports. Don't think we're cheating because you think you're fast. By LBT Pallet. Got a pallet not up to tip-top shape? Call LBT Pallet. We've got you covered. By Ford Entertainment Group PC.net. Matching your one with your wallet. They'll always work with your needs to build the best PC at the right price. By Matt Mills Racing Team. Best of Xfinity teams out there sponsoring and supporting Pedal to Metal Racing League this season. And if you want to help support Matt's journey and his new season coming up, be sure to follow him up on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. By Mann's Maintenance. You want it done right, you call a man. By Berrytown Cleaners. When you got yourselves a mess, Berrytown Cleaners can help fix that right up. And by Lightning Wrapz. Most affordable designs made at your leisure. Lightning Wrapz will always bring out the best designs in your library. Alright. Drivers are now exiting out of pit road. So far, so good. Pretty clean out of the gate. Can we keep that going, though? Remains to be the question. We've seen it before where the first stage, nothing happens, nothing too major, nothing too serious. Everything comes out clean, okie dokie and all that, but now we need a good long run here, and I feel as though that this may be the field that can provide that and then some. We get that long run situation, circumstances. You can see already the rattlesnake trying to warm the tires up. He does not want to spin out on the gate. He knows what lies ahead, and that cannot be good for him if he does anything ridiculous here. He's just going to have to stay focused and stay on track for this run here, as right now we are staying under caution. Brandon Pike not on the pace, not on the field. All 11 drivers must be on pace and on the field, ready to go. So it looks like we'll go one more lap around. Really, I feel like it's going to give a really good opportunity, though, for the likes of the 90 and the 20 to catch just another lap or two to save up for later. Believe it or not, folks, I mean, every lap is going to count towards your finish and how you survive. As you see the lights flicker down, turn off the lights on the old cactus. I believe that's called. I'm an Iowan. I have no idea what the heck you guys have in the desert. I believe that was a cactus we just saw. Anyway, so the cactus lights turned off. Wait a minute. Should we call that cact light? Cact lights. Yeah, cact lights. Okay, okay, I'll stop. The cact lights are turned off now, so it's going to be time to bring the drivers back to the position back in field, into the race. Remember, the restarts are on green, so once you see the green lights flicker on, we go racing. Qualifying was certainly interesting and quite impressive to say the least. But now, that is in the past, and all that remains is the hard shopping, hard racing field of 11 drivers coming out here tonight for Pedal Miller Racing League's GTR Racing Simulator Cup Series. Off the restart zone, we go. The roar of the motors come to life. Over 750 horsepower beast being put to good use. Oh, look out down there for Matthew Hoffer. Big little trouble there. Gets into Kevin Baker, and Baker is upside down almost. Oh, my. And just like that, things can turn in a heartbeat and turn on a dime. And unfortunately there, it did for the 87 and the 84. I'm not sure if the 84 got a little too loose there off the start or where he went wrong, but that is certainly worthy of a PTM instant replay. Right there, and that's a bit of a bad angle to say the least, but watch Baker. Holy smokes, he went flying over like a saucer, and he actually went upside down for just a fleeting moment. Huge lick and a half there, ends up sending to the shadow realm, if you will. He did not get out of that one cleanly, but let's take a look up front here to Matthew Hoffert. I can't tell you for sure what transpired there other than we just saw him go flying. So he loses control here. Spins out, gets the 87. 87 goes for a wild ride, ends up sending everybody back into the pass. And that's going to end up costing him big time there. What a tough break. The 84 had a great runoff. Now he's got to try to find a way to build that speed back up, get those positions back, because that's not going to be easy to do on this track. Yeah, I'll be honest, guys. I'm extremely shocked. That was not what I would have expected, and Kevin Baker, looks like motor has quit on his end, so you heard the motor blow just a minute ago. So now things hopefully will pick up a little bit back on the pace, back on the pack here. Baker is having a lot of issues down there. Could not help resolve his problem there. There are 2 instant repairs they're given tonight, so we'll see if Baker can get it back out from pit road. I think he had to get a tow, though. That's why he's stuck in there at the moment. Once he gets out of pit road, he may be able to bring this one back to life in this case. Matthew Hoffer's going to have a lot of work to do, though. Marching from the back of the outhouse back to the White House. But again, I know Hoffert all too well. He is one tough hombre. The second time I won, actually, he and I had a great last 5-lap battle where he caught me on the end. But unfortunately, the last 2 laps, he burnt the tire up too much. Got a flat tire and burned him up. I would end up surviving that one. Wasn't by much, but I still remember that day well. If there's one guy that can bring it back up, it's definitely him. But off the restart, a little rivalry has returned to the form. The 5% up Otto and the rattlesnake Robert Kahn going to renew a rivalry that spanned across 2 platforms, especially on this platform, especially on this very, very track. The last time they went to war here, it would be Chantel by merely the better half of a nose on the front end, just barely knocking down the rattlesnake that day. She told me earlier that was her greatest win she's ever had and their best season championship victory she's ever gotten. She has not forgotten it, and she does not want to ever forget it. She hopes to reclaim some of that magic she had back from NASCAR Heat 3 onto this end here and trying to knock down the rattlesnake once again. But for the rattlesnake, I think tonight's not a matter of remembering the past. It's about remembering that he can still get the job done. And he's looking to do that here and now as Jeffrey Oaks continues to maintain the lead and maintain the grip on the track. Kev Crawford, before that recap, said some of the best racing I've seen all season. Cheers to the booth. Thanks, Kenneth. By the way, tomorrow night, folks, I know I'm skipping ahead, but I am not even going to say what's going to go down for Pushing Limits. All I can say is Nürburgring is coming. Yeah, you heard me. That is probably going to, that might be my toughest challenge as an announcer, is to figure out every single turn on that track. I'm just going to say that right now, so be ready. But coming up right after this, of course, a really big moment as well. Toys for Tots, the children's charity event, is going to come at your way. Let's help raise funds for the children out there to get something this Christmas season. Even though I'm a bit of a Grinch for Christmas, I do love one thing more than anything, and that is help raising funds for children, especially in need. So this will definitely be a big milestone here on PTM Racing TV. This is our second event, and it's not an enduro, it's an actual race at Kansas Speedway, so be ready. It's the Toys for Tots charity race event coming your way, presented by Lone Star Racing. Up next, after following this television broadcast. Dennis Warren's right now trying to hold back the number 5, Chantel Throttle Bottle yet again. This 5 trying to make a maneuver off of the 90. Trying to hang in there. Warren's was earlier on doing the strategy of stay ahead of the whole lineup and remember the rest later. That strategy seems to have gone the way of the Dodo Bird. It is not helping him any at all. For Brandon Pike, it's a matter of just trying to survive in the struggle of hanging in there. He sees what's going on up front, knows the battle at hand. Might be able to make something stick here, and maybe it'll work it out or two. Robert Dudley now throwing from 5th, now looking to get to the 4th place spot, trying to hammer down. The 5 of Chantel Bottle continuously holding on, changing the lane, changing the grip and the strategy here. Fuel run, they are only given about a 50% run, so they're going to have to go in for fuel eventually. Tire wear, they're going to definitely hit a bit of a trouble spot, and this is the one thing I was talking about earlier. Last time at Pocono, lap traffic was certainly a factor on the whole run and the whole series. And it's about to be another troublematic zone for some of these drivers. Will that happen again? Kevin Baker knows this goose is kind of cooked. He's just hoping to kind of survive out and hope for the best here. I mean, in many ways, I don't blame him for trying to fight the strategy off, trying to fight in with these guys and hang in there. But I mean, as a lap traffic-wise, if you get a little bit too close for your comfort, usually I'll back off and let them go by me because there's really no point in letting them try to fight me out like that or have me kind of mess up their run. It's just, to me, there's no point. And again, that's just me anyway. I'm just in the broadcast booth. That's why I'm not racing with these guys. Speaking of racing with these guys, looks like the rattlesnake Robert Kahn may be either racing himself or racing the entirety of this track right now. He's putting a maneuver on Jeffrey Oaks, but look down the bottom here. The 5 Chantel Bottle found a nice opening there on the 90 of Dennis Warren's. Sneaks her way down to the bottom lane, strikes it big and strikes it hard. Big maneuver there for the 90 of Warren. For the 90 of Warren's to lose, and the 5 of Chantel Bottle to gain. The Canadians are going to battle it out a little bit. The Newfoundlanders versus the Canadians of the Verge. We have now approached halfway point for the GTR Racing Simulator Cup Series now as we lead them down the pack and down the charge. Which one of these drivers is going to survive out and conquer? That remains to be the question that needs to be answered. A lot of movement in the back here. Baker giving some room and openings to everyone. As I said, that Pike gets a little cut off there from him. I think Baker was like, no, I need to try to stay in this. I'm going to try and go for it. And Pike's like, you do realize what you are doing right now, man. I'm getting around you one way or another. He shoots down the bottom. He says, I'm like a thief in the night. I am under the night skies. I'm just going to sneak by you, and I'm not even going to be detected. He certainly wasn't detected at all. And Jeffrey Todd Tufts, even I would say, hasn't been detected all day long in this race. But, you know, hats off and credit to the guy where you can give it. He's been hanging up there and fighting it out with some of these guys, trying to keep his distance, trying to keep his mentality alive. You saw Dustin Solnaker and Jason Henry even too a little earlier. We talked about them. Sparky, you'll see them Tuesday night, of course. Remember, we do have him on the Tuesday night broadcast of the Champion Power Cup Series. So it's good to see him come out here and race, and he can have prior knowledge how the Cup cars run versus how I know mostly the short track cars run. And then, of course, tomorrow it's going to get completely flipped upside down because we're going to have to deal with a whole different car and a whole different track. And I can only say I've ran the track a couple times, and it's still probably, in my opinion, the most grueling track I've ever raced on. If you even want to try to consider trying to build speed up, good luck. Speaking of trying to gruel speed, trying to find anything you can, grilling up some tires down there. Those tires have got to be taking a beating if I ever had a guess. The rattlesnake Robert Kahn, though, found a little bit of a shot, a little bit of a gap here. Managed to make a pass in. Beautiful corner off exit, actually taking it away from Oaksey, and Jeffrey Oaks now loses his lead. Robert Kahn is your new leader. Hey, look at Oaksey trying to build the draft line up, looking to maybe shoot the gap and shoot the run. Kahn's smart, though. He knows he's got to defend. Like a good player in the NFL, you defend your team, you defend your line. Do not let them by. And that is exactly what the rattlesnake is up to here. Laps continuing to click away. Remember, you can't get too confident, though. Can't get too fast on the throttle. Remember, those tires, they will burn up on you, and you will be sent for a ride. And if I'm being honest for one moment, I don't think these guys are going to hesitate to put a bumper to one another. I know I sure would anyway. Time starting to click away here. Let's take a look at our lap time and a gap now. Let's take a look at this here for Oaksey and Kahn. You can see there was a big gap there with Oaksey. He had a bit of a runoff there from Kahn, managed to keep him at bay, and then that lap 53, when he lost it all, he gave Kahn pretty much the open leeway to just go hammer down and charge ahead. But you see the lap counter marker. Now remember, as more laps they put on those cars, the more laps they put on those tires, the more they shred up. Fuel run can be one thing, but I'll tell you right now, the tires are what you really have to be scared of and you have to be very concerned of. Because that is where everything comes into perspective. That's where everything really changes its course and goes flipping upside down. The right rear is just taking an absolute torturous hit, as much as those right fronts do. I would say even the right fronts get them the worst of it. Generally, when you run a kind of track like this, you want to try to keep the car somewhat loose, so you do see rear end slide out more than the front, but the corner, of course, makes the biggest difference. And thinking about making a difference here, Robert Dudley, I'd say right now I'm already spying his strategy. I know what he's up to. He's already trying to wave around the car and just trying to lay it out as long as he can. I like to call it coasting in the car. Oh, well, that definitely was not coasting. Yeah, coasting does not mean, though, you slip and slide and let that car just go weeble wobble around like that out of a turn. That's definitely not coasting. What coasting means in my book here, I know it means it's a little bit different to everyone else, or most people have the same logic, but in driver's mentality, coasting is just mean you're just kind of staying in a consistent rhythm, staying in a consistent run. You're not trying to drive it in too hard. Coasting to me here on Phoenix anyway, though, means you're letting loose. You're letting the car just kind of get under control, trying to stay more balanced with the car. It's like a delicate procedure. You don't want it to overdo it. You don't want to underdo it. Oh my! Jeffrey Todd Tufts and Kevin Baker having a little fun there, bumping and banging off of turn 4. They hang on line. Good, brilliant driving by both guys to hang on when they can. Jason Henry, though, man, he thought 3 wide gap. He said, no, I didn't want nothing to do with that, especially not leading into that flat banked end of turn number 2. That's like a no man's land angle right there. You don't want to find yourself in. You don't want to get caught up in it. Smart driving, a smart maneuvering. On board here with the AEW 66 of Dustin Sornaker, as Jason Henry will be the first to open up his pit lane entrance. Saw him straight shooting down there. Looks like he's trying to conserve himself, trying to get back in this, if you will. Knows his goose is kind of cooked if he's not careful. He knows he's got to have something left for the long haul. Baker finally going to the outside, letting the 72 be his own man. But Baker manages to run his course in pretty well here. Ooh, that was close. Dodd backs down quick. Oh, is he going to get caught for speeding, though? He's going to call it close. I don't know. That looked close to me. I don't know if he's going to get away with that one, but that was really close, to say the least there. You could have probably have put a radar scope down there with the police officer, and he would have said, I probably think that was a little too fast there, partner. I think you might need to pull that one over. He was giving it, though. You got to give him credit for that, but I don't know if I would agree trying to run that hard in like that. Certainly was a very interesting call, to say the least there, but at least he was able to bring it in, and I think he is okay. I do not hear anything about a time penalty for the 72. But speaking of penalties right now, here comes Matthew Hoffert after serving up that EOL penalty that he suffered there for spinning out, causing the wreck. He now fights it out there with the field, and the 72, Jeffrey Todd Tufts, being kind of a thorn there, if you will, to the 5 Chantel Throttle Bottle. Todd trying to stay on the lead lap, trying to hang in there. The 5 knows she cannot be making up too much of this kind of nonsense. She knows that the 90 and the 84 are right behind her. And just to show you how much lap traffic can affect you, here's a look at this. That's 0.2 of a second gained just because that little battle there between her and the 72. That right there just shows you how tough it is as a driver to keep your cool and keep your calm and collective when you're having to deal with the guys that are unfortunately just a little bit slower, or they're on a lap that is behind you, and you're already trying to have to deal with the added pressure of dealing with some of the best guys right now on the league surface and on the racing track here you're facing off against. It's extremely delicate balancing and control of your mind and your mentality. As a rattlesnake, Robert Kahn, he goes into pit road, which means Jeffrey Oaks will be your new leader now. Right now, if I was these guys here, I'd be focusing on one thing, and that is if I go into pit road, I would try to make these things last out as long as I can, and maybe go in only for 2 tires on the right side. I don't know how I would feel about a full set of tires in this track. To me, 2 tires is just enough. Fuel limits are one thing, but the tires are certainly another. Oaksy managing to put it into pit road. Well done there, but it is the 5 Chantel Throttle Pottle. Still searching for her first career Cup Series victory. She will take the lead over. Dennis Warren's now the number 90 machine, keeping a change, keeping a charge ahead of Matthew Hoffert. Hoffert knows he's going to have to whale it in here. Remember what I said earlier about Hoffert? I told you guys, don't count that guy out. I've known him before. He will fight back, and he'll fight it tough. Dennis Warren's right now trying to, I think at this point, just mentally trying to stay faithful to himself as well as what his plan of attack is. He's been there so many times. He's come so close so many times. He just wants to finally accomplish what he's been after all this time, and that is to grab a W. But you know that 5 will not give him any inches or any chances. She will go into pit road as well now. Strategy will have to come into play. Matthew Hoffert stays on out. Dennis Warrens goes in. So Hoffert is the last remaining driver other than Dustin Sonaker to go into pit road on a timely manner. Although for Sparky, there's one big problem lying ahead. He's only about 17.5 seconds ahead of Robert Kahn. Kahn is just gaining on him so quickly. I really am trying to figure out, is Sparky going to really try to go for a long fuel, long green flag run? Because if he is, I mean, don't get me wrong, my full props to him, but I don't know if I would have gone with that strategy there, buddy. The rattlesnake mounting the charge up ahead now, brings it back out hard on the charge yet again. Robert Dudley now moving back into 5th place here, as the 5 and the 90 are now exiting out of pit road. So again, Hoffert, the only one right now that is currently setting the tone, setting the field in place. If he really is going to go for that long distance, I mean, I'm not going to discredit him for trying it. But the last time he and I tried it, well, now I think he's admitting defeat right now as well. I think last time he and I tried it, man, it was not, it worked out for one of us, not the other, but it looks like he's going to finally just admit it. He cannot get it done. Will Dustin Sonaker think the same, or is he going to stay on out? Looks like he may just stay out. Yes, he will. He's going to stay out once again on our lap, so the lap is going to be led by old Sparky, Dustin Sonaker in the 6-6. He will be your new leader. Pretty good stuff here from everybody on position and on the spot. Drivers put to their limits, pushed their test, and mentally just fried and done for. Sonaker, though, must give in. And now the Rattlesnake is going to savor this one. He's going to take the race lead over, and he's still got a good distance and a half ahead of Jeffrey Oaks. But Oaksy has been known to put the Jack Dell Motorsports 20 into good position. Looking to knock off the Motorcraft Ford Mustang. Can he get a piece of him here? It's a battle of the Ford, the Chevy, and the Toyota, as Dudley currently leads the field in for 3rd. Trying to hold back the run coming from the 5 Chantel throttle bottle pit strategy right now. Let's take a look at that here. And look at this. You can see the laps change in position. Pottle was in there about 5 laps later than Dudley. That is a huge difference. It may not seem like it. It's like, oh, that's only 5 laps. You got to remember, that's 5 miles on a track. That is a lot of coverage. If you're trying to drive it in as hard as you want to, well, you kind of run your risk of losing so much speed and so much control, and eventually it does you in. And I think we're about to see that now. Look out here as Dudley, the reigning defending champion, is going to get put to the ultimate test. Huge runoff coming from that 5 machine. The dive bomb down to the bottom lane here, looking for a runoff. Cut it a little bit too close to the yellow stripe. She manages to hang on there. Dudley has to evasive action down to the bottom, going for the run, trying to block the 5's momentum. Side by side drag race now down the back straightaway into turn 3, into 4. Now it is the 5's turn. She gets the run and makes Dudley pay for earlier. Now the 5 moving back in to the top 5 spot and now back into the 3rd place spot. And Brandon Pike is gaining a little bit of ground here too. Don't not forget about him. He's actually catching a little bit of Dudleyville. Dudley has been struggling to keep up with the long term. He's had a great short term, but his long term tonight has not been as successful. Look at the time gain there via the lap counter. That's a lot of laps gained there for that Dudleyville camp. And I guarantee you, if he can keep going, he's going to keep going with it. Pike needs to stay focused and just keep the car on all 4 wheels and keep its framework in check. Lap traffic going to be a factor for the Rattlesnake, or will it? I guess not. Well, I guess he decided, wait a minute, what was that about lap traffic? I really don't care, Crusader. I guess he does not heed my warning around here, but Todd Tubbs apparently did, so good on you, Todd, for at least being a good sport there and leaving him out. That's just supposed to show you why this league can truly bring out the best and the brightest of drivers, and really it's all about respect to character. Oaksy trying now to gain ground on the Rattlesnake Con, trying to hold off and evade. Matthew Hofford in a really big tug of war here between positions for the top 5. Brandon Pike is in trouble. Here comes the 84 of Hofford. Dennis Warren's not able to hold him back and not able to hold back that runoff. You got multiple positions, multiple drivers fighting it out at the top of their level, at the top of their peak, just trying to outdo and outplay the other. They know they must give each other what's worth and make sure that they know there's nothing left to lose. Down to the corner 3 and a 4 here. Look at this. Warren's now trying to corner off extremely hard. Couldn't get it to go, but old Hofford could. Well done, behold, the 84 sneaks his way in. He says to the Benzoil 22, he says, hey Pike, I know you're looking for a fight, but I'm not that kind of guy. I'm just going to move it on to the inside and say, see you later there, buddy. Into the inside zone. Hofford gets a full-length run now down to the bottom, and Pike cannot evade and hold him off. Warren's now looking to take full advantage of the battle he saw. Can't quite clear Pike, though. Pike managing to bring it back in and evades the pass. So Hofford will get up into the top 5. Oh, but Warren says, I'm not done just yet here there, Hofford. Here he comes. Here he comes. Battle of the Ford, the Chevy, and the Toyotas here. An impressive display by all 3 manufacturers in their own realms and their own limits. Each one playing this one to perfection. 14 laps remain here on PTM Racing TV. Jeffrey Oaks right now looking to maybe gain something. Try to hope for the best and get something off a con. Maybe late into the last 10 laps before he goes full bore on the old Rattlesnake. I nicknamed Robert Kahn the Rattlesnake a long time ago because of his tenacity and his intensity to just strike when the iron is hot. I didn't think, though, he would return to the desert where he pretty much kind of conquered and really built off that nickname as well as he has done tonight. He manages to hang on and hang true to form. But the problem is again, if anything happens here, the guys and gals that pitted in later on, they're going to have a huge field day on the restarts. I don't see that happening necessarily, though. Especially now with how crazy this can be. We've only got 10 laps to go this time by the Rattlesnake. Knows he's going to have to hold off Oaksy because Oaksy, well, let's just say Oaksy's getting him. He's got a lot of ground coverage. He's already done. You saw 0.2 of a second gain. This time by is going to be at least another 1/10 and a half. Only about a 500 gap gained. There's another 1/10 right there. Yep, 1/10 and a 1/10. That is starting to wheel and deal closer up. Oaksy knows he's got to get him. Jason Henry staying to the bottom, going to stay out of the way of the race leaders. Communication very vital and crucial. They are talking to him within every little spot, every little site. Just let him know, don't get in the way. Let me race this out. Don't be a lap traffic menace, and let's let this come out and fight to the end. Robert Dudley has moved into 4th, so he started in 5th. He was in 5th for most of the race, got back into 4th, but Hoffert, if he can somehow find a way to catch him, may be able to put up a little bit of a decent showing and a fight out of him. Dennis Warrens really had this race lead in a great spot and a great coverage, but because of the restart and the way that played out, it ended up costing him precious time and precious momentum, really derailing his chances and derailing his opportunities to strike it big. Here we go now. You can see the laps starting to wind off quicker and quicker. 7 remain. And the 21 still with the race lead. Locked up and locked in. Six remain, obviously, and now it looks like OC is just closing that gap further as he goes. He knows those tires are probably worn down a lot here just by trying to catch him. If he catches Khan, he's going to have to dive down in deep inside. He is getting every ounce of the track, and he's getting every ounce of that car pushed to its full maximum. 5 remain. That is right now what Khan absolutely does not even want to think about. That is what we call the Sea of Green. The Sea of Green stands for one thing. Best start defending and your best start blocking if they get to you. And that is exactly what Oaksy is doing. Look out, watch Khan. You saw him get extremely loose off of turn number 4. That's a big bobble there from the Rattlesnake. And even though he bobbled badly, though, he managed to hang on. I don't know how he managed to get a little bit of a gap on him there, but it wasn't much. Oh, both guys are getting worn down. You can see Oaksy struggling now. Khan may have just a slight bit of an edge because of that gap he built up earlier. We're going to find out with only 3 laps remaining. Both guys are wore and tore and just completely destroyed out. They have nothing left to gain and everything to give. The only thing they can think now is just hope for survival. The 21 is battered up a little bit, damaged on the right side. Still hanging in there. Just gotta watch those tires. This can be a very dangerous, crucial spot. Folks, he lost a lot of time there. Way too far outside. Way too far out in the corner. 2 remain. Two laps remain, which changes from 2 to 1 this next time by, presented by GTR Racing Simulator. Here is your white flag lap from the number 21, the Rattlesnake. Robert Kahn has secured this one from start to finish, but can he hold up Oaksy just a little longer? We boil it down to a strong finish coming up. They'll lead it back around off of corner number 2. Oaksy not quite able to gain any ground there on Khan. Khan pretty much had that one sealed up that time. Off of turn 3 and 4, just 2 more good turns. And it's going to be enough. The Rattlesnake, Robert Khan, is going to hold off Jeffrey Oaks and win at Phoenix Raceway. Results are in. Top 3, Khan, Oaksy, and Otto. With Dudley holding up a top 5 spot yet again. Matthew Hoffert getting even a 5th place position. Dennis Warrens falls victim once again to the long-term dilemma that is racing. Brandon Pike comes away 7th, 8th to Jason Henry, 9th to Jeffrey Todd Tufts, 10th to Dustin Sonecker, and 11th to Kevin Baker. What a race. Well, it's been a while since Con's been to victory lane here at Phoenix, and I guarantee you he has missed it all too well. A celebration only he could find fitting. Let's take a look at our race results there, and then we're going to go ahead and get ready for our top 3 interviews, and then we're going to give them a time delay because right now, folks, we are on a time limit delay. We have got to get ready for the next one. But here is your results now popping up on your screen. Con, Oaksey, Pottle, Dudley, Hoffer, Warrens, Pike, Henry, Tufts, Slonaker, and Baker. That is your final finishers for this one. With only 3 weeks remaining, this was a solid race from top to bottom, and once again, another strong showing from these drivers. When we come back, we're going to talk with our top 3. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
With the ButtKicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. ButtKicker. The future is feeling.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here on PTM Racing TV. Now live, we're going to go ahead and chat with our top drivers here tonight. Jeffrey Oaks, you got a copy, sir?
I do.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here is your top 3 results and your second place finisher here tonight, Jeffrey Oaks, in that number 20 machine. And Jack Dow Motorsports can definitely be proud of you tonight, my man. You felt a great battle and a great race, but unfortunately, the long haul fell victim, and Con was able to hold you off. What was going down on those last 5 laps, sir?
It was a really good battle. With Jack Dow, Chevy was dialed in pretty good tonight, and Archon, we were pretty evenly matched, I'd say, like we were talking about at the end of the race. And he said 5 more laps, I would have had him, and I think we're just evenly battled. It was a great race. Can't complain.
Yeah, it certainly was, my friend. You pretty much had to work this one in from top to bottom, and you were fine in runs where you can, but at the end of the day, it just was a little short, but you're still finding a great position and obviously making your way in for the points day. So I got to ask you, as you finish this one out here tonight at Phoenix, who do you want to thank here tonight?
Yeah, I mean, it's all about the points. Got to keep chipping away at Dudley there. That Dover race hurt me, so. But I want to thank my beautiful wife who supports me and lets me do this. Is always in my corner. Jack Down Motorsports and my good buddy Warren for always putting me in practice, getting me faster. Everything you guys do up there in the booth and our league and all our sponsors.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, Oaksy, appreciate coming on board here tonight. Man, what a race and a position for you and your crew.
Yeah, hats off to Archon. He had a good run tonight.
Absolutely indeed. Well, appreciate your time, sir.
All right, have a good one, buddy.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jeffrey Oaks, your second place finisher here tonight. Let's talk now down with our third place finisher here tonight, and one Chantel the Throttle Pottle. It's been a while since we've heard from you, but nevertheless, you managed to put this one into third place and really put up a fight there with the guys out here again.
Yep, it was a good battle. I need to start learning how to be a little bit more aggressive on pit road. I think I would have gained a lot more time on Jeff and Con, but I was a little bit too cautious and lost a lot of time.
For sure, I know a lot of struggles kind of come with being in pit road. You're trying to avoid the old pit road penalties and all that, but what you locked in the pit road speed, you certainly gained back on the track here. You think maybe if there was just a few more laps you could have gained, you may have had something for them later on?
I think if there was another about 15 more laps, I would have been up with them because I was cutting off about a second every 2 to 3 laps, so I think I would have been up there.
They certainly sure seem to back that statement up here. So, but nevertheless, coming away with a third place finisher tonight, Chantel. Who do you want to thank here tonight?
Everyone at PTM and all of our sponsors for Pendleton Metal Racing League.
Well, we certainly do appreciate you coming on board here. Congratulations on a solid finish here tonight.
Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chantel, the Throttle Pottle, coming away third place here tonight. But your race winner, the Rattlesnake, Robert Kahn, will take home the W and the victory. Robert, congratulations, sir, and what a long road this one was.
Yeah, thanks, man. That was a fun race. A lot of tire wear involved, but I'm happy for that one. I've been really putting a lot of effort in lately.
You certainly have. Obviously, I know you had a little bit of a great battle there coming to the end there with OC. Now, I got to ask you, with the way you two were looking, those cars were swinging left and right a lot. How bad were the tires shredded, and how hard was that car working?
Oh, they were bad. I mean, if there was 5 more laps, he would have passed me and won the race. But you just couldn't put power down. There was nothing left of them, and that makes a fun race to me. When they run rough, that was a good race.
Certainly indeed, and nevertheless, obviously putting up a fight to the end and giving it all you got. So I have to ask you, as you walk away here tonight with a win here at Phoenix, who do you want to thank here tonight for this one?
First, thank you. You do a great job with everything with the league, and then GTR simulators, Matt Mills Racing, Lightning Wrapz. Those Wrapz sure do look good on these cars. But just everyone who puts in so much effort, that's just thankful for that.
For sure. Well, nevertheless, Con, appreciate coming on board as well here tonight, sir. Congratulations on another W, and good to see you back here in Victory Lane.
Hey, thanks, man. You have a nice night.
You too. Ladies and gentlemen, the rattlesnake Robert Kahn walking away with the W here tonight at Phoenix. And race fans, we cannot thank you enough for tuning in as well. Thank you so much in part to you and our friends over at GTR Racing Simulator, DeeDub Button Boxes, the ButtKicker Company, Gearhead Coffee, Ooze Motorsports, LBT Pallet, FEGPC.net, Matt Mills Racing Team, Mann's Maintenance, Berrytown Cleaners, and of course, Lightning Wrapz for all your support and all you've done for us. Thank you to you. Thank you to the fans. Folks, we're not done yet. My voice is probably going to be shot, but that's okay. It's all for a good cause coming up next. Toys for Tots, charity event race. Let's raise some money and raise some help for the children in need this Christmas. It's time to go racing down in Kansas. Let's go down there with Lone Star Racing. Thank you for tuning in to this showcase of Elemental Racing League. See you soon.